Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest news. So I've just been reading some transfer rumours up in the current press. I've been reading a lot of transfer rumours up, as I said. I've been reading a bit of Arsenal's up. I've been reading a bit of Chelsea's up, and I've been reading a bit of Liverpool's transfer rumours, of course. But we will start with Arsenal's transfer rumours today, because obviously I think Ramsey knows the problems in the team. I think he needs to invest in the team. Arsenal have obviously got a lot of injury problems, as we all know as well, and there's still a few players that could leave Arsenal, as we all know, and potentially, their aim is to get Champions League football this season, to get more money in the club and to attract players as well, Arsenal, but they want to, from their perspective, want to be up there competing, and they want to be up there on the top level. Do Arsenal with the likes of City and Liverpool and all that, and they know that they need reinvestments in the squad, they need reinforcements in the squad. Potentially, Umeme wants to bolster his defensive lineup. They've been interested in a few wingers as well, as I've already told you, but they need someone to replace Aaron Ramsey, and they have been potentially interested in a few potential tags of Arsenal. But reportedly, Aaron Ramsey now, according to the Italian press, that reportedly, I think he's definitely going to be making the move to Juventus in the summer on a free transfer. Well, Arsenal do have the option to cash in for him in this January transfer window, as we all know. But I think he's going to stay until his contract expires. Then he's reportedly going to go to Juventus. The reports are coming out of the press that reportedly Aaron Ramsey has signed a pre-contract agreement deal with Juventus. So he signed a pre-contract agreement deal with Juventus. He's currently receiving £110,000 a week with Arsenal at the moment. Reportedly, it's according to the Sun and Sky Sports of what I've read. Reportedly, Juventus are willing to offer him £8 million signing on fee. Reportedly, but reportedly there is bonus requirements involved in this deal as well, according to the Sun and that. This is bonus appearances reportedly. So reportedly, he's going to be receiving about £5 million per season. Reportedly, he's going to be signing, is it a 4 or 5 year deal or something like that? With Juventus, and reportedly there's a bonus requirements involved. I think it could rise up to £900,000. £900,000. This is the bonus requirements involved are depending on how many appearances he makes per season. When he goes to Juventus in the summer. Reportedly in the Sun have reported it could be 449,000 or something like that if he plays 50% of the games. If he plays 70% of the games or more, he will receive up to £900,000. So that's what's been potentially being mentioned in the Sun. So there's bonus requirements involved. There's bonus appearances involved. So there is bonuses involved in this deal as well. But there's potentially it's going to be a 4 or 5 year contract, £5 or £6 million per season, and it's reported said Juventus are willing to offer him an £8 million signing on fee as well. This is reported from the Italian press. I think it is a done deal, to be quite fair. But he's done very, very well for Arsenal as Aaron Ramsey. He will be the second, actually, highest earner, just behind Cristiano Ronaldo with Juventus will Aaron Ramsey. But I think he's done very, very well in the Premier League with Arsenal. I think he's been at Arsenal now 10 years. I think he's made over 2 century appearances in the Premier League for Arsenal. I think he's made over 300 appearances in all competitions for Arsenal. He's won 3 FA Cups. Well, he scored 2. He scored twice in 2 of the finals in the FA Cup as well. Did Aaron Ramsey? But very, very good box-to-box midfielder. As I currently said, is Aaron Ramsey. And I think he'll do very, very well with Juventus. Ramsey, to be quite honest with you, he's obviously now Premier League proven. Arsenal blatantly told him he's not going to be signing a new contract, so he's going to be potentially leaving. Is Aaron Ramsey. But as I did say to you, there's bonus requirements involved in the deal as well. I think he scored about 60 goals for Arsenal. He risen up the youth system with Cardiff. I think he only played 22 times for Cardiff. I think he spent 8 years with Cardiff before he actually made the move to Arsenal. I think Arsenal paid a fee of around £5 million for Aaron Ramsey. But he's obviously Juventus have been in talks, so they are the monster favourites. I think that's his preferred destination. Is Aaron Ramsey. But there's been a few other teams interested, such as Bayern Munich, Paris Saint-Germain. He's mentioned Real Madrid, Inter Milan. There's been a few teams actually interesting, but it's likely that it's going to be going to Juventus. Juventus and Aaron Ramsey have come to an agreement. They've come to an agreement on it, and according to the press, he's signed a pre-contract agreement deal with Juventus to join them in the summer on a free transfer. And as I said, there's bonus requirements involved depending on how many appearances he makes, but he will be getting bonuses either way, depending on how many appearances he makes. But yeah, I think he will be happy, going to Juventus. Arsenal have had the years out of him. He's grown and developed very, very well, and he's still a very, very good box-to-box midfielder. He's Aaron Ramsey, as we all currently know. But yeah, that looks like that's an official done deal now, as we all currently know. Arsenal have got potential targets. As I said, they've got injury problems. I said Ozil's been very, very inconsistent this season. He's missed a lot of Arsenal's key games. As we all know, he's got injury problems. He's injured now. He was injured early on this season, and he hasn't really adapted himself under as Mesut Ozil. We know he's got a contract worth £350,000 a week. I think he's the highest paid player at Arsenal. Is Mesut Ozil. He signed this new contract back in 2017. But reportedly, his current representative, Mesut Ozil's representative, said he has no desire to leave Arsenal. So his agent believes that he wants to stay at Arsenal, Mesut Ozil, but he hasn't fully committed his future yet. His future's uncertain, as we all know, with Arsenal, because he's been struggling. He's been in and out of the team this season with Arsenal. He has been inconsistent, but he's been at Arsenal since 2013. He is Premier League proven, as we all know. And if he does go, Arsenal will have to potentially, find a replacement for him as well. But he's been a good player. He's 30 years of age now, anyway. So he will be coming to an end of his career in quite a couple of years. Will Mesut Ozil, the ex-Schalke, Werder Bremen, Real Madrid player as well. He did good when he was young in his prime under Jose Mourinho at Real Madrid. Arsenal paid £42.5 million for the player, as we all know. But Arsenal have got, and I think Welbeck's also going to leave Arsenal as well. So they have got a few players, that are going to leave Arsenal, but they've got a few targets, they're interested in. Reportedly, Gary Cahill's been mentioned, but reportedly, Umremre doesn't want him. It's not one of their targets, as Umremre's confirmed. Umremre said he wants to get one or two players in this January transfer window. There were reports coming out in the press the other day that the Spanish press were reporting that initially Arsenal had put a £14 million bid in for Keylor Navas, the Real Madrid goalkeeper, because reportedly, as we all know now, he's actually out of favour with Real Madrid since, Courtois went to Real Madrid in the summer. Obviously, Real Madrid have got Santiago Solari, as we all currently know. But reportedly, Keylor Navas, who's played over 70 times for Costa Rica, Real Madrid bought him from Levante in 2014 for just around £10 million or €10 million, was it, or something like that. But he's out of favour at Real Madrid, and I think he's actually keen on making him leaving Real Madrid. But according to Umremre, he denied the suggestions. He basically said he denied that Arsenal had put a bid in, and he's actually ruled the move out of Arsenal making a move for Keylor Navas. But that came out in the Spanish outlet the other day. Reportedly, one target Umremre is interested in, though, according to the media. One target he is interested in is Nicolas Nkule. I think he's a Torino player. I think Torino officially signed him for like £3.15 million. From Lyon. Well, he was on a loan. I think he was on loan last season with them, but now he's permanently. He was on loan with Torino last season, but he's permanently a Torino player now. He's a centre back. I think he's 28 years of age. He's Cameroon. As I said, he's been a full international since 2008. Reportedly, he's valued at around £12 million. Reportedly, he's done his performances for Torino this season have been very, very good. Reportedly, Umremre admires the player. He really, really likes the player. Reportedly, and he's identified him as a potential player, to bolster Arsenal's defensive line. As he currently suggested out. So Arsenal have been interesting, but attackably, I think Arsenal look very, very good. They don't need any attacking players. I think they need a defender. They need someone to replace Aaron Ramsey. But I think Aubameyang and Lacazette are two good players, because Umremre got 5 players last summer. Aubameyang and Lacazette have been scoring goals, leading the lines. They're efficient finishers. They're very, very clinical, and they've got good, genuine pace. And they have been delivering and scoring the goals for Arsenal, as we all know. So there's just key areas that Arsenal need to strengthen up in, as I said. But yeah, reportedly they've been interested in Nicolas Nkule. He actually played in the youth system with Monaco, did the player. He's also played for Marseille and Lyon as well as the current player. As I currently said, so reportedly Arsenal have been reportedly interested in him as well. There's been reports coming out potentially, saying that Arsenal, being interested in this Ever Banega as well. Good attacking midfielder, links up with his teammates, very, very good, very skillful, very, very good in the air. And I've seen some of his stats and look very, very good. I think he's like, is he age 29? Is he age 30? This Ever Banega. Obviously, Umremre would like to get him into Arsenal Football Club. He is an attacking midfielder, I think, because obviously Umremre Ramsey has had experience of working with Ever Banega. He's a Sevilla player. This is his second spell with Sevilla. He was at Inter Milan before. He used to. Well, he worked with him at Sevilla, he worked with him at Valencia as well, and he was actually at Valencia quite a lot of years there, was Ever Banega, as we all currently know. Began his career at Boca Juniors, when he was young in his prime, and he has grown and developed very, very well. He is Argentinian. As I currently said, he was on loan deals with a lot of boys in Atletico Madrid, I think, at one point as well. But I think he played like 162 games for Valencia, did the current player, as I currently said. Reportedly, the player's got around an 18 million release clause in his deal, reportedly. I think it's around an 18 million release clause. The representatives, as Ever Banega, have been to London to negotiate a potential move and deal. But Arsenal obviously have been interested in Ever Banega, because that's being potentially one of their targets. We know a couple of weeks ago in the press that they were actually linked with Denis Suarez, Barcelona's Denis Suarez, as I currently mentioned to you on quite a few times. It came out in the press the other week that actually reportedly his representatives were trying to get him removed from Barcelona. Reportedly, it said Barcelona were willing to let him go for a cut price deal of around £14 million, Denis Suarez. He is still young in his prime, as I said. Ramsey had experience of working with him, when Denis Suarez was on loan at Sevilla, as we all currently know. But Denis Suarez is a Barcelona player, and he actually began his career with Manchester City, risen up their youth system. As we all know, he played for Celta Vigo reserve team, Barcelona reserve team, Sevilla on loan. He's played for Villarreal as well as Denis Suarez, but reportedly Arsenal have been interested in him. But they have got a few potential targets. They're interested in Arsenal. There's been a few names that have been mentioned, but obviously Ramsey has dispelled the myth, and he says he's ruled out the move for a couple of the potential targets that Arsenal have been interested in. He ruled out the move for Navas. He's ruled out the move for Gary Cahill as well. But what potential player, would, strengthen Arsenal's defensive lineup? We know they've also been keen on Barcelona's Ousmane Dembele as well as of Arsenal, because Ousmane Dembele, he hasn't had the best of times with Barcelona, to be quite honest with you. He's had a few injury problems. He's been struggling to get a lot of minutes under his belt, but he still has proven to score goals, and he has been scoring goals, for Barcelona's Ousmane Dembele. Obviously, he was a Rennes player as a youngster. He used to play for Borussia Dortmund as well, but he still proves that he can score goals, and he's only age 21, and I think he would, if he went to Arsenal, he would flourish under Ramsey. He would grow and develop more with Ousmane Dembele. Barcelona did pay initial €106 million for him from Borussia Dortmund, and I don't think Barcelona paid initial €106 million for him from Borussia Dortmund, and I don't think, obviously, Barcelona would be willing to do any business in this January window anywhere, and I think they would recommend they'd want a fee anywhere of around €100 million for the player as well. You can play as a wing, you can play him up front as well, and he's a fast player, and he does have a good relationship and bond with Lacazette and Aubameyang, so he has been a potential Arsenal target as well. They have been interested in Ousmane Dembele as well. But yeah, Arsenal are interested in quite a few players, as I said. So that's Arsenal's latest transfer rumours to update you with. We'll give you a bit of an update on Chelsea's transfer rumours now. Going on with them, as I currently said. But I think, before I get into Chelsea's transfer rumours, I think Arsenal, their target this season is to get top four, to invest more money, to attract players' interest as well. They do need to address, but I still, it's only Ramsey for season. I think he needs a couple of signs in this window. He may need the summer to strengthen up as well. But potentially it is only his first season. So potentially if he does get in the top four, finishes in the top three, he deserves manager of the season, because it is only potentially his first season, as we all currently know. But they still look a better team, a lot better team under Ramsey, to be quite fair. They did well with Arsene Wenger. He was there 22 years. They had 12, 13 good years out of him. And then he wasn't spending enough money. It was lacking in the transfer markets. And that's why Arsenal fans potentially wanted him out, because he'd passed his sell-by date, especially at the last stages of his career. Arsenal fans wanted him out. But yeah, as I said, Ramsey is looking like he's going to be leaving, and he's going to be joining Juventus in the summer. Ozil, future still uncertain. According to his agent, he wants to stay. Welbeck's going as well. Mohamed El Neni hasn't featured much this season for Arsenal as well. So they have got a few players, that could potentially go. They've got a lot of injury problems as well, as we all know. But we'll get into a bit of Chelsea's transfer rumours as currently well. So Chelsea, who were the second biggest spenders last summer, they got Jorginho, £57 million. They got Kepa for a world record fee, for a goalkeeper, as we all know. But potentially, and they've confirmed the sign of Pulisic. So potentially Chelsea are still looking to bolster their squad more. Sarri's desperate for the centre forward. I think potentially Chelsea do need a centre forward because obviously Morata's out of favour. He hasn't lived up the expectations. He hasn't met the expectation levels as Chelsea thought he would have done when he came to the Premier League, because Morata has done very, very well where he's previously been. He did very, very well with Real Madrid. He began his actual career with Real Madrid, division up their youth system, made his professional debut in 2010 with Real Madrid, did have Real Morata, but I think he did very, very well with Real Madrid. He won La Liga's, Champions Leagues. He had a 2-year spell, with Juventus, where he looked very, very good, when he was young in his prime, but Chelsea paid £60 million for him in 2017, but since he's gone to Chelsea, he's failed, he hasn't developed, he's lacked development, with Chelsea, and especially this season, he's not first choice under Sarri, he's Avril Morata, so potentially he is out of favour now with Chelsea, Avril Morata, so I think he's going to be leaving. I think he's close. According to the Sun just now, reportedly Avril Morata and Gonzalo Higuain could be a potential swap deal. There's reports saying it's close to be a swap deal. Potentially, I think he will be going to AC Milan on loan. Reportedly, will have Real Morata, but recent reports have been coming out saying that Sevilla have expressed the interest in him as well, because Sevilla have just lost one of their players, haven't they? I think they let him go. Did they let one of their players? Did they let him go out on loan, or did they fully sell him? Not too sure, but I know Sevilla have just lost one of their players, so Sevilla have expressed their interest in Avril Morata as well, but he hasn't really proven himself under Sarri, and as I said, Giroud hasn't been playing lately, because recently Sarri has been playing Eden Hazard up front in a false number 9 position, as we all currently know. But Morata is definitely out of favour at Chelsea. I think he's going to be leaving Chelsea, and I think AC Milan are keen on getting him on loan. But there's been talks of Gonzalo Higuain and Morata as a potential swap deal. Higuain could be going to Stamford Bridge, but according to the AC Milan director the other day, Chelsea have not made any inquiries yet or made an offer for Gonzalo Higuain, but he is 31 years of age. He's on loan at AC Milan. I think AC Milan had to put a fee out of £16-17 million to get him on loan. AC Milan do actually have the option to permanently purchase him in the summer. I don't know how much the fee is, but they have the option to permanently get him in the summer. Gonzalo Higuain's proven himself very, very well. Sarri's keen on reuniting with the player, as we all know, after Sarri worked with Gonzalo Higuain at Napoli, as we all know. But he's a proven prolific goal scorer, as we all know. Of course, he's never ever played in the Premier League, but he's 31 years of age, as we all know. Chelsea probably would only get a year or so out of him, because he's like 31 now. He's out of his prime, he's Gonzalo Higuain, but he's still a prolific goal scorer, and that's what Chelsea are after, centre forward that can lead the line, score them goals. That's what they're after, and I think Gonzalo Higuain can do that, to be quite honest, because he's proven it. When he was younger in his prime in Real Madrid, he had 6 good years. He scored 107 goals in 190 appearances. His 3 years with Napoli, he scored 36 goals in one season, with Napoli as well. And, he was very, very good at Juventus as well. And Juventus paid 70, 80 odd million pounds to the player. He is South American, as well as Gonzalo Higuain. But Chelsea have had negotiations with AC Milan and Juventus over this. But I think Chelsea could reportedly, get a deal over the line. So it could be a swap deal between Morata going to AC Milan on loan, Gonzalo Higuain going to Chelsea, reported. So that's what there's been talks of in the media. That's what there's been talks of in the media. Reportedly, Chelsea have got a few potential interests in a few other players as well. They've reportedly been keeping track on Bournemouth's Callum Wilson as well. They've reportedly been interested in him. He's made a good impact, since he's been at Bournemouth as well. I think he used to be at Tamworth and Kettering on loan. He actually began his career with Coventry, did Callum Wilson. So potentially Chelsea have also been interested in him. Chelsea have also been interested in Callum Wilson, so they've got a few potential targets on their radar of Chelsea, and they've got players that could leave as well. Chelsea, I think, You know, Callum Hudson, I think he could leave Chelsea. There's been no signs of him signing a new contract with Chelsea, as we all currently know. So there's been no signs of him signing a new contract with Chelsea. Callum Hudson, reportedly Bayern Munich have been interested because Bayern Munich obviously have got a few aging up players. They want to get, you know, some youth into their team. They've got Lewandowski, that's what, 30 now, something like that. They've got Frank Ribery, and Arjen Robben that are aging up as well. And Arjen Robben's obviously known for injuries. He actually used to play for Chelsea, did Arjen Robben, but he is injury prone. So they could see probably Callum Hudson as a long-term replacement for them sort of players. Callum Hudson's not been getting the game time at Chelsea as he would like. Bayern Munich have reportedly come in with a new bid of 30 million, according to the media. Reportedly, Chelsea have already reportedly turned 2 bids down already from Bayern Munich for Callum Hudson. I think a £15 million bid's been turned down. I think a £20 million bid's being turned down as well. And he's only 18 years of age, as we all know. Now, especially with Chelsea signing Pulisic, you know, he could fall down the pecking order more. And we know there's been talks of Eden Hazard as well. You know, Chelsea fans are convinced that he could leave Chelsea now because Chelsea have confirmed the sign of Christian Pulisic, but he won't be playing for them until the end of the season. But the fee has been agreed. But Eden Hazard, we know Chelsea have been in contract talks. There's been no signing of him as yet, signing a new contract with Chelsea. Eden Hazard, we know Real Madrid have been linked with him, as we all know. He did admit before that he loved Real Madrid, did Eden Hazard. So this is what potentially Eden Hazard said. But potentially been playing up front lately. You know, he mainly does play out wide. He's been playing in a false number 9 position lately. But he's a very, very good player. He's Premier League proven. He's scored lots and lots of goals for Chelsea. He scored over 100 goals now. As I currently said, he got this against Watford, did Eden Hazard. But he's a very, very good player, you know, to be quite honest with you. He's Chelsea's best player. His close ball control's good. He's good in the air. He's got a lot of tenacity part his play. His work rate's fantastic. He's very, very energetic. His passing's absolutely sublime. And he's an efficient finisher, as we all currently know. He's an efficient finisher, as we all currently know. Is Eden Hazard, but you know whether he stays or goes, I do not know. He has not committed his future yet with Chelsea. As Eden Hazard, he hasn't fully committed his Chelsea future, as we all know. But we know that Real Madrid, of course, have been linked. He's been in the Premier League since 2012 as Eden Hazard. But yeah, Chelsea will be delighted, with the signing of Christian Pulisic. They're still looking to strengthen their defensive lineup as well. But this is only Sarri's first season. But yeah, they'll be delighted with the signing of Christian Pulisic, as we all know. It confirmed the other day in the media. Chelsea and Borussia Dortmund have come to an agreement on a £58 million fee. They've come to an agreement after Chelsea were in talks with Borussia Dortmund. We know he'd been linked with a move to Liverpool. Arsenal had a £35 million bid turned down for him. Klopp was keen on reuniting with the player because Klopp's had experience of working with the player, as we all know. But Christian Pulisic, as I said, I think he'll grow and develop, and Sarri will mould him, in the Chelsea team. Chelsea have got to think, when he does, actually play for them, next season, where they're going to play him in, where they're going to put him in the team, whether they're going to put him on the wing, put him more centrally, because he mainly is a winger, is Christian Pulisic, and he is only 20 years of age, so he's got a lot of years ahead of him to grow and develop at Chelsea, and I think some people may think he'll be a flop. Some people may think he'll do good. But in my opinion, he's playing amongst the right players, as I said. And I think he'll do a good job with Chelsea because he's proven himself well with Borussia Dortmund. He had a contract with them until 2020. There were actually no sign of him at all, signing a new contract. Borussia Dortmund did confirm, though, they wasn't willing to do business in January, as they did confirm, to officially let him go in January. But they did say they wanted to keep him until the end of the season. This is why Chelsea have signed him, but this is why he's being loaned back to Borussia Dortmund until the end of the season. But yeah, Chelsea will be delighted about this. As I said, I think he'll look very, very good in the Chelsea team with Pulisic. He'll come and experience the Premier League. He'll be experiencing new facilities, playing amongst different players because he was good at Borussia Dortmund. He had 4 good seasons. Began his senior debut at the age of 17. Progressing up the ranks very, very well. Broke into the senior squad in 2016 and he made 81 appearances in the Bundesliga. 81 appearances in the Bundesliga. I think he played 20 Champions League matches. I think he made 115 appearances all in all competitions for Borussia Dortmund. He also won the German Cup in 2017 as well. Did Christian Pulisic. But as I said, he is American as well. He's a player, but I think he's a flamboyant player. He's a good young age prospect. He's good at providing and creating as well. He's the player. But as I said, Chelsea will be delighted with the signing. It looked realistic, that he was going to be going to Chelsea. But I highly rate him. I think he's a very, very good winner. I've watched him play for the US a couple of times. I've watched him play for Borussia Dortmund a couple of times. And he is very, very good at creating and providing assists. And he can score goals as well, as he has proven. But he has been in and out of the team this season. He's fallen down the pecking order and he's been surplus to requirements this season because he's been in and out of the team. But he'll be a good sign for Chelsea. But obviously, Sarri still feels as though he may need more than Christian Pulisic. He wants to. It's a good start for Sarri getting Pulisic, but he wants to upgrade on that and get maybe another one or two players in his squad. He wants to strengthen his defensive lineup. I think potentially Chelsea are in search for a striker, as we all currently know. But yeah, it's definitely guaranteed that Cesc Fabregas is going to leave Chelsea as well. So potentially Chelsea will have to find a replacement for him as well. According to the media, reportedly that Cesc Fabregas has now made his 500 appearance in English football. Reportedly, it looks likely that he's going to be making the move to Monaco and he's going to be reuniting with Thierry Henry. Obviously that Fabregas used to play again, or who used to play amongst. Fabregas played with Thierry Henry at Arsenal because Fabregas was at Arsenal 8 years, when he was young in his prime. I think he joined them at just the age of 16, did Cesc Fabregas, but yeah, there's been a few teams interested in, but it looks like he's going to be going to Monaco. I think he's actually going to be making his farewell appearance for Chelsea in the FA Cup tomorrow. They play Nottingham Forest, and I think Chelsea play Forest at home, and I think he's going to be featuring in that game. Is Cesc Fabregas, but reportedly looks set on the move. He's going to Monaco, Cesc Fabregas. But as I said, he's been in the Premier League. Is it now what? He's been in English football like 12, 13 years, something like that, Cesc Fabregas. So he's set to make his 501 appearance in English football is Cesc Fabregas, but he's grown and developed very, very well. He's been at Chelsea since 2014. He's won the Premier League with them. He's won the two Premier Leagues with them, League Cup and FA Cup with Chelsea. He had a 3-year spell, didn't he, with Barcelona, where he won the La Liga, the Copa del Rey, 2 Spanish Cups, FIFA Club World Cup and UEFA Super Cup as well. Fabregas, and when he was at Arsenal, he won the FA Cup, but he was at Arsenal a good 8 years with Cesc Fabregas, as we all know. He's Spanish. He won 2 European Championship with them, won the FIFA Club World Cup with them as well. I think that was back in 2010. But yeah, he looks set to leave. So obviously Chelsea are going to have to find a potential replacement for him as well. But now we'll get some more news where we'll update you on a bit of Liverpool's transfer rumours, as we all know. So potentially we'll give you a bit of an update now on Liverpool's transfer rumours. Reportedly, obviously Klopp's invested in the last couple of seasons. Obviously Liverpool lost by 2-1 yesterday by Manchester City, so that's potentially Liverpool's first defeat of this season. You've still got to potentially favour Liverpool to win the league. It's a blip for Liverpool. City were the better team in the game yesterday, to cut on issue. I watched bits and bats of the game, but it's 2 good teams who are playing at the top level, as you could see in that game yesterday. City have got good players, Liverpool have got good players, as we all know, and Klopp's invested in the last couple of seasons. He spent like 400 million in 6 transfer windows, as we all know, and they've still got a great attacking trio, with Salah, Firmino and Mane and all that, and they address their deficiencies, and defensively they look very, very good still. That signing of Virgil van Dijk has dramatically improved their defensive line. Liverpool's, as we all know, I think they paid £75 million for him, as we all currently know. And Manchester City, spent a lot of money. They've invested a lot of money into that team. Pep Guardiola spent £1 billion in all his career, but more than half of that has been spent on Manchester City, of course. But yeah, and he's won like 26 trophies in his career as Pep Guardiola. So he's won silverware after silverware after silverware. So he's a great, great manager, he's Pep Guardiola. But as I said, now, as it stands in the table, Liverpool is still top by 4. It's 4 points now. City is second, 4 points behind Liverpool. So there's still quite a long way to go in the season. So there's still twists and turns to come, as I currently said. But yeah, Liverpool have reportedly been interested in. I don't think they were that bothered that they missed out on Pulisic because Shaqiri's been impressive for them. But reportedly, Liverpool have been interested in RP Legsby's Timo Werner. Liverpool have been keeping an eye out on that Timo Werner. Reportedly, there's been no sign of him as yet signing a new deal with RP Legsby. But he's 20 years of age and he's still young in his prime, and I think he complements Liverpool's team well. Reportedly, according to the media, the RP Legsby CEO has had a say on the situation, and the CEOs give positive news to Liverpool. Reportedly, the CEO of RP Leipzig has actually said if he doesn't sign a new deal with RP Leipzig, he will be sold in the summer, because potentially RP Leipzig have made it clear either sign a new deal or leave. So potentially RP Leipzig have made it clear. It said Liverpool could reportedly get him on the cheap if he fails to sign a new deal with RP Leipzig. His current contract ends in 2020. He is German. As I said, he's been a full international since 2017 as the player as well. But he's a good player. He's progressing up the ranks very, very well. You know, he was at Stuttgart. He was the youngest player to represent Stuttgart, as we all know. You know, then he broke in the senior team, had 3 years with Stuttgart, became the youngest player to represent them, the youngest goal scorer ever as well. And now he's at RP Leipzig, and he has made an impact at RP Leipzig, as we all know, as currently Timo Werner. I think he won the Confederations Cup with Germany in 2017 as well. And potentially, yeah, so he's done very, very well, you know, with RP Leipzig as a player. He's never played in the Premier League, of course, but Liverpool have been keeping their interest in the player. And he also holds a record for the youngest he holds a record for the youngest player to reach 100 and 150 Bundesliga appearances as well. Does the current player, but Liverpool have been keeping an interest on him. They've also held talks, you know, regarding PSG's Adrien Rabiot of Liverpool, reportedly. Liverpool have been interested in him. Well, it has been Barcelona that have mainly actually, you know, been interested in Adrien Rabiot. He said that Barcelona denied that they made an agreement to get the player. They denied making a legal approach for Adrien Rabiot. The PSG directors confirmed he won't be playing any more football unless he signs a new contract with PSG. There has been no signs of him signing a new contract with Paris Saint-Germain, as we all know, and he comes to an end of his deal in the summer to Adrien Rabiot. But as I said, he spent the majority of his career with PSG, as we all know. He's up the ranks with them. Broke in the senior squad in 2012. You know, he's been a full France international since 2016, and he's won 16 major honours with PSG. You know, he's capped 53 times, you know, at international youth level as well with Adrien Rabiot. But reportedly, Liverpool have held talks, have held scheduled meetings of potential Liverpool making getting a deal over the line for the player. So potentially they're still interested in Timo Werner, as I said. They're keeping tracks on Adrien Rabiot. We know Barcelona have been interested in, but Timo Werner is a prolific goal scorer, and he proved it, you know, in his youth international level as well. He proved to be a prolific goal scorer in his youth international level. But yeah, that's mainly the transfer rumours to update you with today. I said I was going to give you Liverpool's and Chelsea's and Arsenal's, which I have done on this video. I give you, obviously, my teams earlier on, Manchester United, you know, transfer rumours of what's going on. But potentially, I watched Solskjaer's press conference. He's had a few interesting stuff. He's obviously confirmed 2 guaranteed starters in the game. That for tomorrow, Man United Reading. He's confirmed that Lukaku will be starting. Alexis Sanchez will be starting. You know, to get them better, and you know, to potentially, you know, make them flourish under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as we all currently know. Also, Fellaini could be in contention. Fred could be in contention. Delort could be in contention. Maybe Darmian could start as well. So he will be rotating the squad. Will Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as he did say, he's going to give everybody the chance. The youth are going to grow and develop under Solskjaer, and I think this team's going to flourish under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I currently said. Should be an easy win for Manchester United, you know, as I currently said. You know, Reading are a poor team. As I currently said, they're a very, very poor team. Reading, you know, they're sitting third in the Championship, winless. They haven't won in the Championship since the beginning of November last year of Reading, as we all currently know. And in the last 5 games, they've had 3 defeats and drawn 2, I think, something like that. But we actually played Reading in the FA Cup. In January 2017, and we did beat them by 4-0, as we all currently know. Reading, so potentially Man United should win. A lot of youth will get the chance, as we all know. But Solskjaer knows the culture of the club, he knows the traditions of the club, and he knows the club inside out, because he was a great player for 11 years, from 1996 to 2007. As we all know, he scored in the 1999 final as well. He's got that winning mentality. He's got the attacking mentality, and he likes the attacking philosophy, and he likes the width as well, does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So it's good to see him, you know, give everyone the chance, as we all know. And he has admitted it will be hard for him to leave Manchester United. He doesn't want to leave Manchester United, does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because he loves the club, and he did say he'd love the job on a full-time basis at Manchester United. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as we all know. But he's getting the best out of the players. The players are expressing themselves, and he's worked with some of the players in the reserve team as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's watched them, grow and develop, as we all currently know. We've still got a lot of players, coming to the end of the contract, that we do need to address as well. We've got to think about contract renewals as well. We've got to think about contract renewals as well. But yeah, 4 wins out of 4 for Manchester United, as I currently said. 4 wins out of 4, 14 goals scored. Lukaku's come on in the last 2 games and scored from his substitute. So I think he's going to improve under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Everyone's concerned about his first touch. He has weaknesses about his game, as we all know. He hasn't been great this season, but I think he'll do well as he gets more game time under Solskjaer. I think Sanchez needs to adapt areas of his game, but I think he'll dramatically improve, when he gets more game time under Solskjaer. Alexis Sanchez obviously just recovered from injury, as Alexis Sanchez, as we all know. But the team are gelling, the team are communicating, which is good to see. And this is a different style of play we are playing, good attacking football, that we all want to see at Manchester United, which is very, very good. And Rashford, great young age talent, as we all know. He's been a Man United player since the age of 7, progressing up the ranks, got a good pedigree of scoring on his debut as well, and he's done very, very well. He's nearly made 150 appearances for Manchester United at the age of 21. Yeah, at the age of just 21. That is absolutely fantastic achievement, as we all know. But in my opinion, Rashford's mainly number 9. Paul Pogba, he's given us an update on that. I think Paul Pogba is going to be set to miss. He's going to be set to miss the Reading game tomorrow. Reportedly, according to the media, he suffered a knock injury in the Newcastle game. I didn't even know about that, so I just read it up in the media. It's something to do with he collided. I think something to do with a tackle with John Joe Shelby, and he suffered a slight knock as Paul Pogba, so he could be missing. But for me, Paul Pogba's mainly number 10. I think he looks good in that attacking position just behind the centre forward. But he's expressed himself very, very well. And he's like 2 players in one, and he's expressed himself well. And he's like a player on 12 to 15 goals a season, when he's playing that well. Paul Pogba, to be quite honest with you. But there's still I think young players will go and develop, and I still think there's players that could leave Manchester United. Of course, I've already updated you on. Reportedly, Solskjaer was going to get £50 million spent in this window on some signings he wanted to get in. We have still got a few potential targets we want, as I've already updated you on my previous video earlier on. But we know potentially, as it has confirmed, if Solskjaer actually doesn't get the job on a full-time basis, I think it's going to be Pochettino that comes in, because it's Ed Woodward's number 1 choice to come in. We know the club are still recruiting to get a full-time manager in at the end of the season. Solskjaer may get the job on a full-time basis. You don't know. He'd love the job on a full-time basis. We know I think Pochettino is a monster favourite to come in if Solskjaer doesn't get the job on a full-time basis. Reportedly, Manchester United have reportedly been in talks with Pochettino. Reportedly, Ed Woodward and Pochettino have been in transfer talks, what players to get in the summer, reportedly. And reportedly, Mauricio Pochettino has reportedly indicated Manchester United to get James Maddison from Leicester. So he's reportedly told Man United to get James Maddison. He's reportedly told Man United to get pay £70 million for James Maddison from Leicester. Reportedly that would be one of Pochettino's first signings, if he was to come into the club at the end of the season, as I've already discussed with you. Pochettino has reportedly said as well in the media, he's been saying like Champions League, not cups, keep, he said I think he said, like, if I can remember, he said Champions Leagues, not cups, keep you in a job. He said something like that. He did say he'd love Christian Eriksen to sign a new deal. He'd love him to commit his future, but Pochettino's obviously admitted he's unsure whether he will sign a new deal. But he said he's unsure anyway, did Mauricio Pochettino, but he did say it would be fantastic if he did commit his future, and he would like him to sign a new deal, Christian Eriksen, but he's unsure about Christian Eriksen's future, is Mauricio Pochettino, as he has explained, and he said basically top need to sell to buy. This is what Mauricio Pochettino said. This is what Mauricio Pochettino said. He said he wants to win the Champions League with Tottenham one day. But yeah, he said regarding Christian Eriksen, he said he's uncertain about Christian Eriksen. But potentially Pochettino hasn't won out in terms of silverware as a manager. But as I said, I think he's done very, very well with Tottenham. You know, to be quite honest with you, he's Premier League proven. He's been managing since 2009. He played 18 years his playing career, but he's got a 5-year deal with Tottenham. I think he's still fully committed to Tottenham. I think he's happy at Tottenham, as we all know. But as we currently know, it will cost the club £40 million to recommend him in at the end of the season, when we could save that money and get a signing with that money, as we all currently know. But reportedly he's the number one choice. There's been a few backup options mentioned as well. We know Zinedine Zidane's been potentially mentioned. He'll be the second behind Pochettino as well. But Zinedine Zidane, he's got a great managerial CV. He's never played or managed in the Premier League. He's dealt with top players, as we all know, as Zinedine Zidane. He understands the philosophy, as we all currently know. And he's a great, great manager with great managerial credentials. He's had the experience, but he's never played or managed in the Premier League. But I think, potentially it's going to be Pochettino who's going to be the number one now, reportedly, according to the media. So, yeah, that's mainly everything to update you with today, guys. As I said, and Solskjaer's become Manchester United's second manager in the club's history to win his first 4 games. Last time that happened, it was actually Sir Matt Busby that did that reportedly. But yeah, he's doing very, very well so far, Solskjaer. As I said, the tester will be against Tottenham. That's our next league game, of course. But as I've updated you on the transfer rumours today regarding Aaron Ramsey, this is partly about Aaron Ramsey. Reportedly, he's signed a pre-contract agreement deal with Juventus. Reportedly, Juventus have offered him £8 million sign non-fee. He's on £110,000 a week at Arsenal. He reportedly is going to be set to sign a 4 or 5 year deal with Juventus. So he's going to be receiving about £5-6 million per season. But reportedly, there's bonus requirements involved in the deal as well. So bonus appearances are involved as well. Depending on how many appearances he makes, depends on how much bonuses he receives from Juventus. 50% is reportedly going to be about 400,000. If it's 70% or more, he's going to receive 900,000. That's been reported in the Sun as well. So anyway, guys, that's the latest transfer news update. So, as I said, drop your comments, likes below on my channel. If you do consider subscribe to my channel, as always, and take care. God bless, guys, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.